Hey, what's up? Happy Wednesday to everyone. Who's ready to do some coding? I know I am. Okay. Let's do the thing with the keyboard and the mouse and stuff. Let's check how this is looking. This is looking pretty good. All right. This way. Aesthetics. There. Okay. What's up, guys? How's it going? All right. Go into this view now. Okay, so we're gonna work on the React section today. We're gonna continue to work on stuff. Here, let's turn this on. Boop. Overlay activated. All right, so we should see data coming in through, the overlay should be working. Eventually I'm gonna try to have like an indicator on the dashboard to verify that the text is coming in properly. So a streamer doesn't have to if a streamer wanted to make sure that the closed captioning was working, all they have to look at is their dashboard under the extensions, and it would just work, and like it would give them a green light or something like that. I got an idea for that. So in the future, planning to make that somehow, try to make like an indicator, something like that, so the streamer person doesn't have to worry about it. They can look at it and it tells them like, yeah, we're receiving the data. We're receiving the closed captioning. All right, so where we left off on Monday was we were working on trying to get the text more readable and to display a little bit longer on the stream between sentences. So we tried a couple different things. We were originally trying to do closed captioning, the implementation of closed captioning that you would see on like a teleprompter style closed captioning, where the text just keeps on coming in new lines. But we decided not to do that because it was very difficult to try to do that, because we're publishing the strings over from the server to the extension front end. So there's the nature of the presentation never is going to fully truly work that well. So we decided to go with an approach of dialogue, and basically each sentence is going to be a new line. So this sentence right here would be spoken, and then once a new sentence starts to happen, like right now, the old line would show up on the top. So right now I cleared it out, but it would be on the top, and then there would be another sentence on the bottom, the currently active spoken sentence. So that is the plan on how to tackle that. So we worked on the back end for that. So I'm going to turn that on. So we're going to switch from using production closed captioning to the backend closed captioning. And for everyone that's on the stream right now, they should see a difference in the closed captioning because we changed the way the payload looks. So you're going to see a JSON blob, basically a JSON object containing two new values. And we should see it right here for myself, but you guys are going to see it also, because what's installed on my stream right now is the currently released version, and we're going to be working on the new development version. And so you can kind of see where we're going with things, I guess. It'll be a little bit weird, but when you're actually using the website, when you're actually using the actual website in production, you won't be seeing this issue. So it's just like a little peek behind the scenes of what's going on. this won't work on mobile, unfortunately, because of how extensions work in general. Extensions don't overlay video extensions cannot overlay the video, basically. Instead, they have to go into a separate auxiliary view that you could look at, but what's the point of looking at that on mobile? So that's the unfortunate thing. Yeah, so if you ever go on your Twitch app, and you go to a stream, let me see if I go to one stream right now since I got notifications up. I don't think this streamer uses Twitch extensions. No, this one doesn't. But there should be a what do you call it? Like a puzzle piece or something like that. Should appear somewhere in the UI when you're watching a streamer on mobile. And if you click on that puzzle piece, I guess I can just click on my own stream. No, I don't want to look at my live dashboard. Actually want to see my stream. Okay, so right above this, right above the chat, you click on that, and that gives you the view to the various extensions. So that's how you do extensions on a mobile. I guess you can technically, So you can still watch the video and have the extension running below. It's just that the video is tiny. You can't do, like, let's see, let me try to, it still shows up on landscape. So maybe I could support mobile. It's just that it's in an auxiliary view. That would have to be like 2.0 type stuff. I don't think I'll have enough time to try to stylize it specifically for this view. Yeah, so if you see the picture. So yeah, you can see like there's my stream right there, and then you have the extension below. So I could have like a stream of text coming in showing there too. So it could, in theory, work fine. I don't know how well the user experience would be, but it is possible, I guess. It's tricky, yeah. And like, I guess then in the end of it, and then the day, it doesn't provide value because the video is so small. Is it worth it? I mean, if you're on tablet, it's great because you got a big enough screen. If you're not on tablet, sucks. So if you're on desktop, you should be able to see that there is two different data objects. You should be seeing JSON now and two different ape jogs. You see the final and the interim. Final is the last sentence I just spoke. Interim is the current sentence that I'm speaking that the speech to text has identified. So we have these two different payloads, and we're going to display this on the extension UI. So we're going to put in some effort to have this showing up on the extension UI now. So we're not doing anything. So we're off stream. I also got the test coverage for the server up to over 80%. There's still a section of the code that I need to implement to test, but that section of the code's the WebSocket code, and I need to do some extra legwork in order to support testing the WebSocket code because Rails doesn't have any built-in stuff to test the WebSocket explicitly. So, oops, turn it off. Oh, cool. I can press the spacebar to turn it off. I did not know that, and I did not enable that on purpose. Okay, so let's dig into the extension UI. The extension UI is just a React component. Components, app, and I think I might change this from app to something else eventually. I'll just keep it app for now because everything else has a nice name to it. Okay, so app.js, but then we are using the closed caption JS, which is actually the actual component that displays the text. So coming into the extension, unfortunately you guys won't be able, you guys will just have to see the changes happening here in this view. Actually, we can probably pop out this view into the browser view. I guess I can try to make this bigger too. This is kind of small. Let's try making this larger. Let's do create a new view, and we'll do a custom size. 19. We'll do a 1920 or 1920 by 1080, or let's do 1080 by 720. Oh, never. I did the wrong dimensions. I think I did. Oh. Let's just do 1920 by 10. Ooh. We'll just do 1920 by 1080. 1080. Yeah, I guess it just doesn't fit for whatever reason. Why? I did width, not height. Why is this being weird? Did they... Is the source code for this rig weird? So width and height. Here, let's reverse this. So 1920. Or did I do this wrong? Let's just do one more time to make sure I didn't. Okay, this is still wrong. Delete that. Let's reverse this and see what happens. 1080 by 1920. Now it's even worse. Okay, I don't get it. What? Okay. But what's up, Sack of Joy? By the way, forgot to formally say hey. And how's the week going? Okay, so we have it in this view so we don't see the clutter or everything else. Let's scooch that over here. We'll increase the font size here so you guys can read it better. We're probably going to need to mess with the CSS, so let's open up the closed captioning CSS, app CSS, and the caption styles JS, just in case. Okay, so we come into the app.js. We're probably going to want to open up the inspector in case I want to log anything out. So we get our pub/sub messaging coming in, and we display the want to display the text. So right now it's just displaying the message. It's just receiving the message and then just passing it along because it assumes that the message is just a string. So let's, I think I need a, did I hit a debugger? Pause by debugger. I did pause by the debugger. That's weird. Did I leave a debug statement in here somewhere? Yeah, I did. Get position styles. Oh, this is when we were debugging stuff last night. Yeah, so there it is. Line 65. Delete that. Fresh. Okay, so we probably want to JSON parse this. I think I need to do this. All right. So const message or parsed message. Message is JSON.parse with the message. And then display closed captioning test. What's up, Frodo? How's it going, man? How's life? Parsed message. So out of the parsed message, we actually want to fetch the final text and the interim text that you guys see right now. So parsed. So final. So interim and parsed this message final. Ran into some the most severe hacker in Destiny 10. Oh man, that sucks. Are you gonna be sticking with Destiny, or are you gonna give Anthem or Division 2 a try? Anthem makes you motion sick. Big no. Ooh. What about Division? Okay, so we're still in the intermedium of supporting this. So we have the interim and interim text and final text. Let's see. I guess this is fine. So we have interim text and final text. So we need to change this state to have the final text, and we also need to add interim text. We need to set the state object to now have a final text object, interim text object, interim text, and a final text. Also, plus Scissor makes me like gunplay. Don't know enough about Division. Yeah, I like the first Division, but Division is what you can think about. Division and Destiny actually are kind of similar. It's just that Division has raids. Division's open world, but it's also, at least the original Division also had a kind of like an open world PvP, and they also had competitive game modes too. It's a really interesting game with like classes. It wasn't class-based characters. It was class equipment, so you can spec into whatever class attachments and stuff like that. So I guess it's like a cross between Destiny and Diablo, but you don't have a specific class. You spec, just like in Diablo, you spec into different builds, or I guess in Destiny, you just have a blank character and you can choose which way to go with it, depending on the gear you have. Final text, interim text on the state. We're passing that data in here. So now this is gonna break because the actual component that is supposed to display stuff doesn't know how to display stuff, or isn't getting the right attributes or values now. So now the closed captioning should be getting, so this guy should be getting text data. I'm gonna pass this into a data object, or should I do individual ones? How's your week going, Frodo? Do I want to pass? So do I want to pass the individual strings, both the interim and final, or something else? I guess I'm gonna pass in an object called text data. Hide settings, text data.
Looks like a fun project, but I have to run. We'll try to check in next stream.
Thank you very much for the 100 bits, Sack of Joy. Thank you very much. Stop by anytime, but greatly appreciate the bits. Have a good one. Whatever you're doing. I don't want to do this. So text data, do I just want to pass in a generic object? So I have the interim text. I have the final text. I'm just gonna pass them as separate props until interim text and final text. All right. So the last thing I need to do is I'm gonna close captioning. I need to expand on this. Clear context. So hide, interim, final, settings. Passing in settings. I forgot why I'm not even using settings for anything. Where does this come from? That configured. Okay. So I built it. I added the settings, but I didn't do anything with it. Don't have any settings to work with. Prop types. It's an object. Okay, so instead of regular text, we have interim text, and we're gonna have the final text. And then should hide CC. I think I'm going to change this to just have the should hide CC access to the props. Like that. I'm changing my mind how I want this to work. So props, hide. We have to check for if the screen is too small, which is fine because this is just a regular method. Our PvP hand cannon finally passed 15k kills on it. Whoa. That grind, yo. How many hours you got in Destiny now? So display resolution, got interim text and final text. So let's see, should display is empty, is interim text, or I guess we'll concat these two guys together for this final text check. A lot. Oof. Damn. I miss the days where I can grind. I probably have a lot of hours in Overwatch actually. I do a lot of, I played a lot of Overwatch. So I probably have a lot of hours in Overwatch. When I think about it, I think I had like 100 hours on, or no, is it? I remember I had a shit ton of hours on Torbjorn. I think I have a shit ton of hours on Hammond now. Let's see. So we do that check. Okay, so the last thing we need to do is refresh this. Let's see what happens. So, okay, the black bar. Okay, now the black bar shows up. Interesting. Oh, because we're not just playing the text yet. Right. So now we actually have to render the text. So display CC, which is right here, needs to fetch the interim text. Interim text and the final text. And let's see. I'm probably gonna get rid of this positioning thing. I have an idea that I'll probably mention later about what I want to do about positioning the closed captioning text. Okay. So now this should start showing the text. Good. So that's what we want to see. I have a meager 180 hours in OW. I'm assuming that this is built around the software for voice recognition that already exists. Yep. So this is what I'm leveraging. This JavaScript API that's available through Chrome, 100% free, which makes the extension low cost of entry in terms of developing. Okay, so what we wanted to do is we want to stack the text for the closed captioning. So let's try just doing something very simple and naive and have the final text over the interim text. So now we're publishing stuff, and this is how it looks now. It's a little, right, they're not inline blocks or anything like that yet. So, but let's see. And then someone gave me a code pen potentially of how to style this, so we'll also take a look at that. So yeah, we want to do, I think I want to do display block on these two elements. So I'm just curious to see how they did this. So two spans, one's final, one's temp. I need the JavaScript in here. So container, overflow hidden. Yeah, we definitely want an overflow hidden on the container. And position relative text container. don't think we need that. Very simple example, which is fine. So let's try switching these to a div real quick, because divs are bullies and they want to live in their own world. They want to take up their own line. So now we just gotta wait for this to render. Okay. Now, okay, so now you can kind of see that the old final text is coming in, and then there's the new one. So it should start stacking up like that. So now it functions more like a, how do I want to say? This is fancy and way beyond me. It's honestly, it's not too crazy. Obviously, if you're not familiar with coding, but if you've spent enough time coding or just fiddle around with things long enough, things will start clicking. So now you can see that the text is stacking. So there's the old sentence and then the new sentence that's coming in. So it kind of gives you an opportunity to catch up with what was being spoken earlier, which is pretty nifty. Although it's still we still have to do some tweaking. So this is basically what we wanted to accomplish. So there's a couple things I still want to try to do stylistically on here. So let's see. So here's our container. We have the app container, and then we have a padding of 16 left and right for the caption container, and then a background. I think I want to make the container only about, let's see something. So let's remove the padding first for now. So we should see these guys, yeah, these guys go from edge to edge like this. And then what I want to do is actually reduce the width of this to take up about 80. Let's see what happens if I take about 80% of the screen. So we just gotta wait for this to render. Okay, so that's about 80% of the screen. Maybe that's a little bit too aggressive. Let's do 90% of the screen. And then also I need to center align everything. So text align, center. Let's see how this looks. No, that's not what I need to do. It's center. I need to align the caption container. I might be able to leverage blueprint style. This is the UI library we have installed for the extension UI. So we might have some classes and stuff like that we could use. For positioning, typography. Maybe we might have some classes we can use. If not, we'll just use regular CSS Flexbox to do it. Let's look under variables real quick. All variables, grid dimensions. Okay. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have to just use the flex. We're using flex to align it to the bottom, doing a flex end. So then all we have to do is, yeah, so flex end brings it to the end, and then we need to center it. Let's go to app CSS. For the app container, we did a justify content flex end. Yeah, we did the flex end. So now we just need to center the content. Let's do align items. Let's see if that works. I guess we just do it here. So, and we'll just fiddle with it. Need to play more / get better at comp. Somewhat want to get the reward for hitting the cap on points. Yeah, I understand that feeling. Do you get salty sometimes in comp? Like, because, you know, obviously it's team play. So, things get a little rough when you have to rely on your team. There, so we center aligned it. So now we have this nice spacing around here. I think originally what we were trying to do was try to add some padding to the left and right, because this top, yeah, so we actually only needed bottom padding, I think. Let's see what happens if I change this to the standard position. What's important is just the bottom padding. Yeah, this guy right here. So we can change this to 000 for raising. Okay. So that, now we're adding a little bit of space, little breathing room on the left and right. We still have the bottom. Unfortunately, the trigger for hover doesn't work right now. It's not been added into the dev rig. Okay, so the next thing we actually have to do is have overflow hidden for this container. So we want to set a max height on this container to hide, to basically to keep this from growing too large, so it doesn't just keep on going up, 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 up. So let's see, is there, what's up, Curb? What are you using? Can you be a little bit more specific about what we're using? Is it Ruby? I am using Rails as a backend and React for the extension front end. So it's a mixture of things. Yeah, so Ruby, backend, front end, JavaScript, React. React, text, overflow, next. Interact line limit. I know some people are giving some tips before about potentially just doing calculations. So we could take the dimensions of the container and multiply that by the amount of text we have, so we can calculate when we reach the max amount of lines that we possibly would want to have. That was going to be the strat, I think. So usually it would be, okay, sounds good. I'm doing the basics right now. I only know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Well, that is plenty. I mean, you're with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, you're already able to build websites. You know, simple static ones, maybe some JavaScript and stuff like that, depending on how fancy you want to get. But that's already a lot to know and a lot to play with, especially when you're initially getting started. But good on you for taking up the mantle of trying to learn all that stuff. Okay, so let's see. So this guy has a height of 16 right now. So as I talk some more, it should increase to 32. So yeah, it's multiples of 16. What is the font size right now? Well, tell me what is the computed font size right now? So the computed font size is 12. The line height. So I guess line height is what we want to work with. Trying to learn Python. Hard. It's hard. Python is pretty hard. Can be pretty hard to learn. Just because it's a dynamically typed language and stuff like that. Is there any specific reason why you wanted to learn Python? I assume you're like trying to like meet a goal, right? Or did someone just, or maybe someone just recommended it to you? So what we could do is we can set the max height of the container to be the font. I don't know how to line height. Where's line height defined at, by the way? On the body. Okay. The line height is just a multiple of the font size, I think. So right. Calculate line height. How to calculate relative CSS line height. See what this guy suggests. Go away. By convert for relative, so absolute height for pixel. For example, valuation number would be about 1.5. Yeah, so you say font size 20, your line height is 20 pixels. Yes, that would be ugly, but with the relative font size, line height would be 1. Going back, for example, font size 16, the line height is 24, the conversion gives you 1.5. Is there CSS online? I guess that's the constant for line height. CSS line height actually accepts the numerical golden ratio of 1618. Oh, that's clever. Use the golden ratio. So what's the line height over here? 1.2. So if I take the font, which is currently 128, 12.8, 12.8 multiplied by 1.28 gives me the line height, which is 16.
I feel the need.
The need.
The need.
Oh, speed. Ow! Ooh. Everybody, thank you very much for follow. Welcome to the Goose Nest. Thanks for stopping by. Just asking questions, man. Don't be afraid. Any questions, comments, anything like that. This is an open place for people that are learning to code or already experienced. Just ask away if you're curious about stuff. So I heard from Professor that it was what companies are moving towards, but I mean, once you know at least one, it's easier to get other languages I need to play around with. More React. Yes, I'm using VS Code. I'm using VS Code with a bunch of different plugins and stylized theme and stuff like that. But yeah, so to say blanket that companies are moving to Python is false. I'll give you that. I'll give you that much. Companies do use Python. Some companies are moving to Python for machine learning and stuff like that, but there is still a lot of companies that use all sorts of languages. C#. There's companies that still use Java, Python, Ruby, Go. So there is a lot that companies do. I would also suggest that because you're learning HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and you've already studied some Python, I would maybe suggest going to learn Ruby instead. Ruby is similar to Python with dynamic typing and just the way functions are defined and stuff like that. But Ruby is very beginner coder friendly, and if you combine that with Ruby on Rails and you're already and your existing experience with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, you could start building websites and server website with the server and script up backend server stuff using Ruby and stuff like that. So it's a very entry-level friendly way to start using your HTML, CSS, and JavaScript chops, learning Ruby, and building stuff and have fun doing it. So so what you've already learned in Python will transfer to Ruby in terms of the experience of how the look and feel of the language. And Ruby on Rails just has a wonderful community around it for beginners. So you'll find lots of tutorial videos, free resources, all sorts of stuff for you. So if you want to have, because the hardest part about learning, or the hardest part about spending your free time building stuff is sticking to it. And the best way to sticking to it is having fun doing it. And this could be, the Ruby on Rails could be kind of like that gateway drug to to like other languages. Do you use any certain libraries like Bootstrap? I've used Bootstrap in the past, Right now for my Rails server, which is right here, I'm using a a Google material design type of library, but you can use, but Ruby on Rails has what they call gems that easily allow you to plug in stuff. So if you wanted to use Bootstrap for your Rails application, there's a gem for that to easily add Bootstrap styles to your entire application to make it really easy. So it gets you moving fast and building stuff. Oh damn, look at that text packing up. I was saying a lot of stuff. Yeah, sorry about the closed captioning the way they look right now. We're in this intermediate phase where we're upgrading it. So on your guys' end, it's gonna look really funny, but that's just because we're in this intermediate phase of building it out, building out the next version of this. Okay, so we wanted to calculate max height for the, I guess we can calculate it on the caption container. Yeah, so this guy, caption container, would have the max height. So right now we're passing it in styles object. We can just try arbitrarily setting a height of, let's see, so right now the line height is roughly 16. So we can say the line height is 32 and I guess 48. So line height would be a max of 48 pixels. And we'll say that overflow is hidden. Okay, so let's say this is max height, so things don't get weird when things are small. Max height. Okay, so now as we talk, we should see it cap eventually. I guess let's just keep on talking and talking and talking and talking until it actually reads. There we go. So now it's starting to reach its upper limit threshold of things that it don't fit anymore. But it's filling. I want it to overflow upwards, not downwards. Let's see. How would we do that? Let's see, float. Like, I feel like we could probably, let's go back to the Flexbox stuff. Flexbox. Display. Column reverse. So this establishes the main axis, thus defining the direction the flex items are placed in the container. Flex is assigned the optional wrapping, a single direction layout. Flex is in there. Yeah, so maybe we want to do a column reverse on the styling for our app container. Hold on. No, I think we have to do the styling on the caption container. I want to say a flex of, so display flex. So when you keep talking, you want the new words to continue and the old ones to go away. Basically, there's a lot there. So that's basically what it comes down to in a nutshell. Is I want the old words to continue. There's a lot more plumbing involved. So basically what's going to happen is, yeah, instead of, just like when you've played with HTML and CSS, when you fill a container and it reaches it to the bottom and you do an overflow hidden, the rest of the contents below here, it's filling this in and it's hiding it now. But instead I want it to keep the, it fills it, keep this part, the bottom part, intact, but overflow above right here, basically. So I think the Flexbox direction's gonna get us to where we need to go with that. I suck with CSS. So the thing you'll find is that depending on the career course you decide to go in, you're either going to be purely front end and you're going to be amazing HTML CSS type of guy, or you're going to be kind of like this, or you're going to be like somewhere in the middle where you're doing lots of JavaScript, you're doing a lot of application development, but you're doing it in JavaScript, and you know enough HTML CSS to make things look good, or you're going to be like a full stack person. Or you're going to be a full stack person like myself too. I'm a full stack person. And but usually when you're a full stack person, you know a lot more about the back end or how to make applications, like make a React app and code it and make the UI function and have all the JavaScript fire off. But then you're going to be super weak at the CSS part because you hardly ever touch the CSS. And with coding, if you don't use it, you lose. Oh, I guess just like with anything else, if you don't use it, you lose it. And I hardly ever touch CSS. So I always forget how things work, or I never fiddle with things enough that I remember what does what. Yeah, so never knock yourself about not remembering something, because people don't remember things in all the time professionally. We're always looking at docs to remember certain things. So never feel ashamed that you don't know something, that you had to look it up, unless it's for a test, obviously. But in real life, you don't remember everything off the top of your head. Docs exist for a reason. Google's a coder's best friend, but also just regular language documentation. So I have this app that stores documentation for a bunch of different stuff on my offline, so I don't have to actually Google for it. So I have React, I have Vue, I have Rails, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. So if I ever wanted to like look up something specific to a language, I got it right here. So I can just like, if I wanted to look up Ruby and I wanted to look up the array object, here's the array object documentation. Here's all the methods on the array object. So I can remember exactly what does what. So flex direction is column reverse. Let's see what that does. Okay, so we just gotta wait for this thing to fill up and see what happens. Okay, so it reversed the two elements. It pushed it down, which is interesting. It's a little weird, so we're going to flip the elements. So because it's reverse like that. So now this should look like we wanted to before. So now if we keep on talking, it eventually should clip maybe the top part. Fingers crossed. Yes, it did. Woo, we got it. Thank you, Flexbox, for making life easier. Sorry for distracting. I know sometimes we have to rubber. No, it's fine. That's one of the reasons why I'm here. I code. I stream programming so that I could work on side projects that I enjoy but also share that experience with others. And if those other people have questions, that's why I'm here. Because I don't know, like, people asking me questions keep me on my toes, and I'm able to help you. You're able to help me by refreshing my memory, or us looking up something, or teaching me something, whatever it is. So it's not a big deal at all. If you were if you were more hungry for knowledge, I'm part of the Knowledge Fellowship, and it's a community of streamers that focus on educational content, politics, psychology, psychiatry, physics, astronomy, astrophysics, geology, just all sorts of ologies, or even bird watching, stuff like that. It's a community for that. So you could find other coding streamers that way. Belly.io is another resource. Do you prefer Flex over Grid? I'm checking that out. So Grid is the new stuff. Sometimes I have an easier time with Flex over Grid. Grid is good for when you're dealing with a lot of different elements on the page and you need them to like flow smoothly and stuff like that. I enjoy Flex for positioning. For this case, it's only 2 elements I needed to use to position this. So I was able to just, set, this guy, and just set the flex direction and the alignment and stuff like that, just a couple attributes. I didn't actually have to set anything else, so that's why I use Flex most of the time. But if I had to deal with like a series of items on the page, that's when I would probably go with Grid instead, because Grid is better at dealing with multiple items, like gallery view or other type of stuff like that. All right, so we kind of like simple fixed this part where we just manually set a max height. We probably want to set it off of the body's line height. So wonder if we can get I need to get the line height. So how would I get the line height? So let's play with some stuff here. Document body dot style dot line height. No. Where is line height? Style sheets. Where was the line height set at for this guy? Yes. Yeah, line height. You can't be sure to get connected line height and pixels browser. Oh. Get the calculated font size and multiply it by 1.5, which is fairly standard for the line height. I wonder if I can just fetch it off of everyone suggests just calculating it. I probably fetch it off of one of these divs, but they're not going to be present yet until a little bit later. let's just go in here, try some experiments to make sure that we get what we want. Computed line height. So actually, let's see if we can compute this. What the line height is. So they say take. Let's open up the calculator. They say to get the font size, which is 12.8 right now. And multiply that by 1.5. Okay, equals 19.2. So not exactly. Alright, let's do some more experiments then. We have our element. Her. Okay. Oh, we have the element. We have it selected. There it is. Oh yeah, I gotta do this. There we go. That's my element. So that styles. Here's my CSS styling. The padding, color. Let's see, is there line height that lives on this guy? Which other crap? No. The line height is empty. Font size apparently is set on this. It's to view with, yeah. Line height 1. I need to get the pixels. And it's not 1, it's a little bit more than 1. I need to calculate the pixels. Let's see, 12.1. If we do set the line height to 1, what would happen? Oh, let's find out. Let's go on this container and set the line height to 1. Yeah, so now the text is really close. That does... I guess we can set the line height manually so we can calculate how things should go. So now with the line height equal to 1, now it's equal basically to the height of the font size of stuff and things. How does that look? Is that a little bit too cramped? I guess it's fine. I guess we'll just have to manually set the line height to something. I think someone said the nice line height is like the golden ratio was like 1. Oh my god, that's too big. Let's see. Yeah, something's setting the line height. Now, if we set it to 1, that does simplify things by a lot. I guess we'll just set it to 1. How about that? We'll set it to 1. And then we'll stick to that gun. See, this is why it's enjoyable to have people around when you're streaming, because they'll just suggest something. We'll just try it. See if it works. Thanks, Kirby. What I will do is I will add a little bit of padding on the top and bottom of this guy to make this a little bit more attractive, I think. So let's add just a little bit of padding for the top and bottom. Let's try 5 pixels of padding and see what that does. Oh well, we gotta not do padding on the left and right. Let's do that. Only a little bit of padding on the top and bottom. There we go. That actually looks pretty slick. All right, this is looking good. And then what we'll have to do is then calculate, okay. So then we'll have to programmatically calculate the max height of this instead of arbitrarily setting it. So we have to get, wonder if I can dynamically calculate. Is it, can I do this where I can go to view? I think I set it to 2 view width for fonts, right? It's not here or what I set it. There it is. Font size 2 view width. I said it twice too. I really want that to be my font size apparently. It's a logically grouper right there actually. Times. Yeah, calculate. How do I do CSS? CSS math expressions. You can treat this, so is there any way that I can write CSS values as a mathematical expression? We can do the calc command. Let's try this. I never did this before. Let's see if this works. So we do calc. I want to take the view width, multiply that by the line height, which is set to 1. Or I guess I guess it's set to 1, so it's only the view width we have to worry about. So multiply that by 3 because we only want a max height of 3 lines to show up. So that's either going to work great or it's going to be horrendous. Doesn't look like it did much of anything. Let's see. This could be just a limitation of a maybe I have to do this not inside the React, the CSS styling for React.
We're going ballistic, man! Go get him!
And another 1 byte cerise. No quality options though.
No quality options though. Oof. Thank you very much, Akira, for the 13 months of subbage. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 6 months in a row now. But isn't it great that you can show off how many months you've subbed in total? Isn't that major poggers? How's the stream quality for you, even though no quality options? Able to watch? Able to hear me? Hello? See the max height. So what's the calculated max height then? Max height is 38.4. Okay. So what is the height right now? The height is 28 right here. So why isn't it just not like filling up to the third line? So I just have to keep on talking and talking. Yeah, it's not. That's weird. It feels bad, man. It's it's buffering like crazy. But you can see the JSON closed captioning coming in, right? Okay, so let's take a look at the calc function in CSS. Calc. Calc function lets you perform calculations specifying values that can be used anywhere: length, frequency, angle, time, percentage, number, and integer. I guess it has to do with the fact that I'm using a view width value to do this. Is my thinkeration.
I'm afraid I got other plans, Crockett. Plans I made with the local judge, the police, which involved their pensions.
I wonder if I could set a CSS variable. So let's go to the app CSS and set a CSS variable maybe on the body. There. I know there's a different way you can set variables. Variable font guide, custom properties variables on the element. On root. It is not by declaring on root pseudo class CSS author can reduce the need for repetition using variables. Yeah. So that's what I want to do. I want to set this on the root, and I want to have this as the font size. To VW, and then all I have to do is do var, and over here where we set font size, I want this to be using font size like this, like that, and then over here I want it to do I wanted to use the font size. Let's see. Okay. Need to make sure the bar. Okay. So you can do the same thing here. So calc var dash font size 3. Let's see if that does anything at all. So that's it right there. Font size calc. What does that calculate down into max height of 38.4 pixels. Okay, so now let's see if this is actually going to increase. No, it's not. Is this the max height already? Hold on. It's only 28 pixels. Oh, is it because of the padding? I wonder if it's because of the padding. Let's eliminate that padding and see what happens. No, still doing it. Let's try multiply that by 4 and see what that does. Not sure. Maybe it's just not doing what I'm expecting it to do. That could just be it, right? Not the first time that I've misinterpreted the way that property should work in CSS and completely screwed it up. Oh, it's working now. Oh my god, it's working. Yes, it's working, and it actually fits pretty good. What? It said twerking. Oh man, it's some good stuff right there. Okay, well, I think this is functioning the way we want it to work now, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is working pretty good. Awesome. Blah. Yeah, so you can see, now you can see this feed of text coming in. So the previous statement I said is still there, and the new one is coming through on the bottom. And then if this gets too big, it pushes out the old one. Although it's a little weird still. It's dropping it. Hey! CK player with a raid. It's a raid. Watch out. Hey, how's it going, man? You're catching us in the middle of messing with the closed captioning payloads. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Goose Nest. Red alert. Red alert. But thank you very much, CK player. How was your stream? Just doing a short stream. How long is how short is a short stream for you? Or how short was this short stream? 45 minutes? Okay, that is a short stream. That's like I would have like been that stream was like half of that time I would have been in the bathroom. Just kidding. No, like let's raid. Raiding's awesome, by the way. I love the raid mechanic and all that type of stuff. Yeah, it's an awesome thing. You have a good stream? All right, so I guess the padding's throwing things a little off, maybe, because the overflow happens. It's kind of because of, yeah. Let's try removing. I'm gonna remove the padding and see what happens when the overflow. Let's comment this out and see what happens. Looking at some JS code for a game I'm thinking about looking into. Ooh. Really need to learn React.js. So many choices. There's actually a Humble bundle for game development, if I'm not mistaken. They always have Humble bundles, usually game-oriented one. So there's two different ones. There's a coding one. So this one is an intro. Okay, this is an intro to programming, but then they have like intro to development. There's just a bunch of intro stuff. So here's one for game development, VR, 3D games, So, and these are, I think these are all videos too. So these are all videos that cover, and I think 25 bucks. What part actually? Oh, cool. When'd you apply to be a Humble Bundle partner? I've thought about doing that too, because I really like promoting the coding and book ones a few months ago. I thought about applying. I just never knew what their criteria was to be a partner. But yeah, I love, ever since I discovered that they do book bundles and coding bundles, I always keep an eye out for people to know. Yeah, like they have for the programming books, they have a bunch of cookbooks for stuff. Scala, Docker, R, a bunch of random ones. And then there's the game industry one. So this one's a bunch of books on just breaking into the game industry, from what it looks like. Pretty easy. So what type of perks do you actually get for being a partner? I just thought about doing it because I like promoting their stuff. But what type of perks is there? No perks, just money? Okay. I wasn't sure if it was just like some cashola. Okay. It'd be nice if they give you a perk where you could like give away, like every month or every couple months, you can choose to give away a bundle to somebody. That'd be really awesome perk for partners or partnered Humble Bundle people that are streamers. They said they have too many partners to do that. Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a huge hit on the wallet for them. Excuse me. Okay, so we are getting rid of the CSS. So let's see how this stacks up a little bit better. So this looks a little bit smoother. So let's wait until it stacks up to 3 lines. Oh, it's not bumping up to a 3rd line for whatever reason. There we go. Okay, so now it's going. And then, okay, that's actually what we want it to do. Oh my god, I think we actually got it. Okay, this one overflowed just a little bit right here. I can see that happening right there. So right when we get into the 4-line part, does it start to get a little weird. We can probably replicate this by hard coding some lorem ipsum into here to get this to do what we want it to do. Gotta run, have a great rest of your stream. Thanks for the raid, by the way. Have a good one. Lorem ipsum line. Let's see how that plays out a little bit. We're filling in stuff, so we should be able to have a little bit more showing up than usual. I guess we can do a lorem ipsum. Actually, let's try doing a lorem ipsum paragraph. Multi-line. There. Now that should get us to what we want. Okay, so it looks like it's capped at 4 lines. Oh wait. No, it's doing something weird here. Where it's not... Oh yeah, because this is... Let's put this with the final text. Like that. And see how this pans out. Okay, so there we get to see the line cut off. So setting the line height to 1 and then just trying to solely base. Oh, it's because we have this I'm pretty sure it's because maybe it's a little bit of this padding right here we have for the new line. Maybe that's it. So let's drop it down to 3 and see how that plays with stuff. Bum bum bum. Yeah, it still looks a little bit weird. Kind of a bummer. It has to be because that little padding thing that's going on with these divs. Caption styles. Yeah, we have this little 2 pixel padding going on here. Let's drop that down to 0 and see how this looks. So it's making it a little bit more cramped, but now everything shows up a lot cleaner. So if we actually do I don't know if we do a margin instead. This might make things really screwed up, but let's just try it anyway. Yeah, I think this is still gonna mess with things though. Yeah. So regardless of whether we do a margin or a padding, it's still gonna be weird. Maybe we should apply, no, we need to do it in the whole container. That is the text too cramped now though. I feel like the text is slightly too cramped, fortunately. Let's see, so let's set a line height then. Where am I setting my line heights? Right here. Let's set a line height of 1.2 and see how that looks on the text. So the line height 1.2 looks pretty decent. There's enough space. So since we know that we set a line height of 1.2, actually let's do this. Of 1.2. Might have to, when we're doing the variable changes, this needs to be not font size but line height. I know when we're doing the work to change the font sizes, this might prove to be a little bit of a hiccup on us for us. So var dash line height here. So things shouldn't be breaking, okay? So then HTML, so for the JavaScript over here. So font size multiplied by var line height multiplied by 3 should give us 3 lines of space, and if the overflow happens, it should still look pretty good from the way we're calculating things. Yeah, okay, that's actually what we want. So then we just want to do a little bit of padding on the outer container. So for the container itself, maybe we'll do a little bit of margin. Add a little, no, we'll add a little bit of padding, not margin. On the top and bottom, set that to 0. Let's see how this looks. Increase this a little bit more. I didn't see any differences. Oh, it's screwing up everything because of the max height. Margin. Come on. Go up. Now everything's just all out of whack. Did we break something? No, we didn't. Okay, there we go. That took a moment. That was weird. Alright. Both these things aren't working the way we want it to work. Lurk mode initiated. Okay. I'm just gonna increase this. Actually, I can do this to increase this inside and zoom in. I really want to try to set some sort of I guess this is fine. This is fine. This is fine. Let's do some lorem ipsum line here to start filling in some more so we can see this working a little bit better. Yeah, so the overflow is happening right here. Here's the new line, here's our line, and then here's the other line. Now we can start trying to try doing start fiddling with the padding again. Yeah, so if we do a padding of 1 pixel 0 pixel. Oh, that's the app container. We don't want to do anything about that. Get that. It's the caption container we want to try to do something with. Margin left the text itself. I want to just add a little bit of thing right here. Yeah, margin won't work. I feel like whatever I'm gonna do is gonna screw up. Yeah, whatever I'm gonna do is gonna screw up the. I guess I can add the padding to augment the. I just have to augment this. So whatever padding I decide to do, which is 2, I'm going to have to add. So we're gonna create another variable right here. So caption add bottom. So this is gonna have a value of 2 pixels. And then what we could do is here, when we're doing this calculation for figuring out the max height, we can just add 2 pixels to this whole thing. What did I call it again? Caption pad bottom. And that will. Oh wait, we're not yet adding the padding. It's a caption. So padding, bottom, var, caption pad, bottom. Try that. See what happens. Okay. That worked actually, and that worked pretty good. Oh, yes. So the reason why we have to go through this whole thing is the font size is going to end up being fairly variable. So I'm gonna allow people to configure the font size to be small, medium, or large. So we're gonna have to calculate it based off those different font sizes. So this is why I'm kind of going out of my way to do these dynamic calculations, because this font size is going to be configurable. So in the future, I'm actually going to do this. Actually, should be the medium font size. Medium font size. And then we have to change this to medium. I haven't figured out what the small and large one is. So yeah, so and this is medium. Medium font size. Okay. So everything should be working just fine, I think. Let's see. So these guys should be var medium font size. Medium font size should be 12.8. Okay. Yeah, so that works. Yeah, nice. So, okay, let me get rid of the this kind of lorem ipsum stuff we filled in right here. Okay, so we did the cap. We did a cap on the bottom padding. We could try to do it for the top too. I guess. Let's try to do it for the top and bottom. And then I'll have to modify this caption bottom to be ×2, because it's 2 of these. Yeah, okay. That actually looks a lot better. Wow. Okay, well, we'll see what happens when it does the overflow. We need to get to the fourth line when it's trying to start push things up. So there is just a little bit of a cut right there. It's really subtle. You can see it. You can see it. Zoom in, enhance, get closer. Although I also need to keep on talking as I deleted the lorem ipsum. Oh, you can barely see it. That's really cool. Okay. So let's just keep on talking and talking and talking and talking. Yeah. It's actually pretty smooth. Okay. So I guess that was a fluke that I saw like a little bit of an edge right there. Okay. It's actually pretty slick. Good. Oh man, I think we got the solution that we want. I think we got this. I didn't say that, but it interpreted as the solution we got is I think we got this. That's basically the same thing. Oh, good stuff. All right. That was an example of it cutting off the word before it shows up. As I said, good stuff, good stuff. And then it cut it off, but then when I start talking again, it actually publishes it. So we can actually see the failing to publish part a little bit more clearly now. But the way we've implemented this, it's not that bad anymore because we queued it up. And this is now a little bit more easier to follow versus to what it was in production right now. Right now. Interesting. Because it cleared out the final. Interesting. Yeah, it's clearing out. I guess that's okay for now. Let's see. Let's go to the app.js because I do have some timer stuff on here. So I have this set to text and intro. After a minute, it tries to clear out everything. Yeah, so what you see right now on the stream is an older, or is the current live version of it. Unfortunately, I have to submit the actual, so the one you see is the actual submitted extension that was released, that works with currently in production. Since right now I am doing local development testing with the newest build stuff, you're actually seeing the new data coming in. So if I were to turn this off locally and then go to the actual live server that I have my beta testers using, and I turn this on over here, you should actually see the current live implementation of the closed captioning extension. So no longer do you see the JSON object, you actually see text, and you're only going to see one single line at a time, or one single sentence at a time, but it'll clear out the old sentence. So that's the current live beta version, early beta version of it. And what you were watching with this guy over here was the new, what I'm currently working on to improve based off of feedback and stuff like that. And the currently live version has a timer to set that it clears the text after 10 seconds of not talking. So it'll completely zero out the closed captioning after 10 seconds of not talking. Right now in the current testing version right here, I have it set to 60. So yeah. We're gonna turn off production because we don't want to be there. We want to be in the local. Turn that bad boy back on. All right. Yeah, so now you can see how it's kind of like keeping the other sentence there and the new sentence coming in, and it's kind of doing this ticking thing. Fallen on the horizon. What's fallen on the horizon? Have you fallen on the horizon? Okay. So I actually like where we went with this. This actually went fairly smoothly. Hi, bring a sword. You're deep in it, Frodo. Oh no. Monk ass. Okay, so let's commit what we have here because This is actually great. I really am excited for this small little improvement. And no, I did not say ass, even though it thinks I did. It says no ass. Oh boy, oh boy. Good stuff. Okay, yeah, so we solved the problem. This is exciting work. Yeah, yeah, I'm super excited. Okay, let's commit what we have here. Let's review what we have. So we did the styling, we did some CSS, we fiddled around with some variables and stuff like that, removed padding. I did an alignment center to center align this bad boy. This is that. Okay, cool. Couple of changes. It's all stylistic changes. We're actually going, hold on, before we commit, we're actually not using this get position stuff anymore. So this is actually Dunzo. I might not need that anymore. The timer longer, or keep it at 60. I might keep it longer. That's why I have it. That's why I have it set to just the value. Seconds. I should probably add the const up here for that. I think I made a file for the constants actually. Or did I? Yeah, I did. Under utils. Const max text display time. Yeah, because I arbitrarily chose 10 seconds before, and then I determined that like 10 seconds is too quick, so I upped it to 60. So maybe we should keep it around longer. We can go let's go second. Let's use the seconds, multiply that by a second, so we can do it for 2 minutes, so 120 seconds. And then let's go into app.js, and instead of importing in seconds, we go max text display time, and then we set that down here. Boom. We'll do it till 120. This, so when we cleared it out, did I fix the code for clearing it out? No, I didn't. So we should clear out final text and interim text. Interim text. Both those guys. Yeah, the other side that we have to clear up is on the server side, for how it handles statements between stuff. Why isn't it publishing anything? There goes captioning max text display time. Seconds times 120. Hello? Why aren't you working right now? Oh. The only thing I changed between the only thing I changed is here. Let's console log. Let's see. Where is our pub sub message handler? Right here. We can just do a simple console log to see if we are getting the messages real quick before we try to point fingers at what broke. So, okay, so we are receiving the text. So this guy is what's screwing us, I guess. Text display time. Yeah, this must be it. Oh, because it's silently failing because we still depend on the seconds constant. That's what's going on. Yeah, it was silently failing because this right here for displaying the closed captioning, this was getting eaten by this message handler, I think. We didn't see any errors in the console, but the seconds, it still depended on second here. Okay, so we fixed that. We increased the upper bound threshold. We have all the styling stuff there. So I think we'll commit what we have. Delete this. We ended up not needing that for now. DC text, yeah. Let's add new text. Yeah, all this stuff we don't need. We did all this work and we don't need it. Limit word count, I don't even think we're using this either. Yep. So all these new changes we did with the CSS is carrying over from what we did the other day. So we're actually able to delete a lot of the silly logic we had. We just have 3 functions. The screen too small. Default props is interim, text, and final text. Okay. Okay, so let's commit these changes before we dive into the next phase of work, so we don't screw ourselves. That looks good. Curious to see how things will look with Git lens. That's fine. Let's see. So I created a new constant so we can control how long the delay is, so we don't have to go down here and find that number. Instead, we just have that. We just go to that file that controls the values. That's good. This guy. This has changed a bunch of CSS. That's good. This is deleting a lot of that logic we tried to do to handle this using the old idea. So we ended up deleting a lot of code. Awesome. Simplicity. Very much wow. More CSS tweaks. And constant. Okay, so update extension UI to handle interim text payload with upward over 9 characters over with overflow. There. 2 characters over. I guess update extension is explicit enough. You still around, Kirby? Curious about something for your schooling. So I assume you're taking are you taking a computer science course or anything like that, or computer engineering? Since you said your professor said that suggested learning Python. And what up, Stroth? How's it going, my dude? How's the week been? Same old, same old. Eee. You gotta bring home that bacon. Oh, you're in a development boot camp? Okay, nice. Hopefully you're having a good time at your development boot camp. Working with a good designer for once? Hey, yeah. Working with a good designer is awesome. Okay, so we implemented that. It's pretty amazing. Nice. What's the name of your bootcamp school? If you don't mind me asking. So. Oh, General Assembly. Interesting. Yeah, my wife did, so I knew a designer, Stroth. I knew a designer that taught part-time at General Assembly design course. And then also my wife took the immersive program for design at General Assembly. But I know at in your bootcamp schools and stuff like that, one of the variables that can make it an enjoyable experience is your classmates, especially if you're going to be dealing with a team-based project system. So I'm glad you're having a good time, because it can get a little dicey when it comes to that. But the one thing that is going to be difficult, and you have to be ready for this, is regardless of how rosy of a picture they paint about getting a job after the bootcamp school, it's going to be tough. It's still going to be really tough. Regardless, like, even if you it's going to be tough. Like, it's still not an easy road to get a job. Yes, you have your projects, you have your experience and stuff like that, but you're still going to have to try your damnedest to know the company, study up on your interview questions in order to do well in the interview. Just doing the bootcamp school is not going to be enough. So just keep that in mind, that just because you took the bootcamp school doesn't mean that, I can get a job as an entry-level engineer. Like, no, you're still going to have to work hard at practicing your interviewing, because it's still going to be very tough. So be prepared for that. Be prepared to work just as hard outside of school, after school, or after the program to get that job. Man, I wish our organizations would use Discord over Slack. I mean, like, Slack, okay, so Slack isn't that bad though. It's better than using HipChat. So yeah, okay, so the next phase of development that I want to do is, actually, let's go to the board. Close coming extension, use a different direction. Okay, yeah, so that is done. So this is what we're going to work on next. We were going to work on originally to allow a broadcaster to choose where they want the CC text to be positioned, whether it was going to be top, bottom, left, or right, and stuff like that. And I decided a more simplistic approach to this idea. Because the problem is that the closed captioning text, you know, by default is on the bottom. Right there. Just like what you're seeing right now. Right now, it's at the bottom of the screen. And you might not want it to be there. Hey! NVIDIA! Thank you very much for follow. Welcome to the Goose Nest. Questions, comments, anything like that, let us know. This is a friendly coder stream for anyone, any level of coding you have. Don't be afraid to ask questions. As I do contracts, I know how to keep the 3 different chat apps. So, gotcha. Yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, so the challenge is like trying to design a solution to appeasing everyone for the closed captioning being positioned well. That doesn't block the viewer from looking at their webcam, looking at whatever is at the bottom of the screen or whatever it is. So originally I was thinking that, oh, well, I'll have a broadcaster setting, a toggle that they can choose, like to keep the standard position like we have it right now. We can position it on the, or they can do like, oh, I want to position it on the left. Oh, I want to position it on the right. Oh, I want to position it up on the top, you know, and put it in the corner over here or in the corner over here. And then I was like, you know, well, you know, based off my conversations with other streamers, you know, there's never a one-size-fit-all solution, even if it is configurable like that with different settings. So I'm like, you know what? How about this? Because in the end, it's the viewer that, you know, it gets in the way. Like the closed caption will get in the way for the viewer. So I was like, instead of trying to like programmatically code it so that like the broadcaster has to choose which position it goes into, what if I am able to configure it so that the text is draggable? So you as the viewer, if it's at the bottom of the screen and for whatever reason it's in the way, because like I said, it's covering up their webcam, and you know it's an IRL stream, or you know you really want to look at their webcam or other text that's at the bottom, you could grab the closed captioning bar text and drag it to another part of the screen. Like drag it to the top, move it a little bit to the left, move a little bit to the right, something like that is what I was thinking would be the best kind of solution to have for this. I felt like that was the best one. Yeah, I'm the 29 is the youngest in my class, but they make it sound like once this is over, it will be easy to get a job. After I feel like they have to say that because that brings people in, I guess. I don't know how many jobs really are out there, but sorry for the rant. No, it's fine. Like, because I know, like, I didn't go through boot camp school, but I know individuals that have gone through boot camp school, and I know the struggle that they had outside of the boot camp school. Because in the end, you always have to take it with a grain of salt, because General Assembly is a for-profit school. They're not even a college. They're not even accredited. They are just a for-profit private school, private entity company. So always take it with a grain of salt. After you get out, just like you're looking to learn Python and do stuff on your own, that's what matters. If I was gonna hire an entry-level engineer, the person that and I was looking at candidates from General Assembly or just candidates in general. If I looked at a different one candidate and I saw another candidate, if I was looking at the candidates and I saw one candidate that like was just showing their stuff that they learned from school and stuff like that, whether it's General Assembly or not, or university, and they just have like, you know, their projects and their education. And then I looked at another candidate that had a bunch of side projects, like had a couple side projects, showed that they had passion to learn, grow. They were able to do some cool stuff, or cool stuff from the perspective of being, a new engineer and just doing stuff on their own. I would hire more like, and they both, what do you call it? They both interviewed equally as well. I would hire the one that took the initiative and did, on the side, their own little projects and stuff like that. So that's like to keep in mind about, doing the projects at General Assembly isn't just going to be enough. You need to distinguish yourself by further enhancing your education outside of class or after the whole program's over. And it can take 6 months to a year to get a job. And also, it's pretty crazy, and I know for some people it's really hard, but don't be afraid to actually move away, because sometimes you genuinely have to move away and look for jobs like outside of state, another county over, whatever it is. There could be jobs over there, and they might be willing, and they'll probably be willing to hire you. Don't be afraid to move, because you move for experience. You're young, move for experience, move for learning and job experience, and all that type of stuff. So that's also something else to keep in mind. Don't be afraid to move for your job. And if it doesn't work out, you just move back home. Okay, so yeah. So hopefully you guys picked up what I was talking about the drag and draggable closed captioning text. And hopefully that sounds like a good idea to you guys. So let's try to do that. So maybe we can leverage a React component. Draggable. React draggable. Need to find a summer job? Yeah, if you're in school, like I said before, if you're in school, whether you're going to accredited school, non-accredited, whatever it is, or is he get an internship if you can, or if you can't get an internship over the summer, maybe try to do some projects on the side. Like if you have to get a job and it not turn into your career, it's just a job, because you got to pay the bills. Because that's what I had to do going to school. Like I only my last year of college was I able to get like a tech related internship type job. But throughout college, I didn't have the luxury of like, oh, just get an internship. Like I had to work. I had to like be able to buy food. So I had to actually just work regular work, which kind of sucks because it doesn't count towards your my years working at the department store don't carry as much weight when you finally want to find a job once you graduate from college. It's those internships that matter more. So yeah, so if you can get an internship, coding, programming internship, or whatever field you're in, it helps so much once you want to get a job. So much. Okay, so React draggable. Look at a demo. Wee. Oh, let's see. Oh, that's interesting. So, this is cool. Okay, so it can only be moved within the offset. Only can move 100 pixel within it, not draggable. Can only be dragged anywhere. Okay. There, boom, we already found our draggable. I work on education testing / learning tools for a couple of different clients. Just kind of ended up working on those types of companies. Yeah. Usually it's like once you get in on one, like you start to like spread out a little bit, especially if you do contract work and stuff like that. They look, especially recruiters and stuff like that are looking to get contract workers, contract work hourly. They'll like look for specific skill sets, and then they're just snowballing from there. Man, I had to build a production customized page for a client once with the click and drag. He implemented that type of feature. But the click and drag, yeah, any click, drag, drop, build type tool is fucking horrible. I just have to say honestly, it's just like so complicated. Too many variables, complex UI. You know, it's like, oh, just make it forehead. You know, just code it forehead. It's easy. No. But job was building components for web games for a newspaper. That's interesting. That's really cool. Was that for a newspaper? Why did they want the web components? Was it so they can do like game-based ads? Or anything like that? Oh, that's cool. Crossword puzzle, like Sudoku or whatever. Well, no, I guess crossword puzzles make the most sense. All right, so we installed the React draggable. It's fairly up to date, 2 months old, not bad. By the way, we're gonna have to update to the latest React because React with hooks came out, so I'm gonna have to learn how to use hooks. Okay, so we want. All right, so let's go back into close Caption CJS. All right, so what are we dealing with here? So default export draggable. At draggable core property is the draggable core. Here's how to use it. So we have draggable, we have draggable core, or we can do this. And then, all right, so let's see. The shittiest was converting an ancient Perl backend that handled email verification through my SQL queue to go. Woo. Yikes. Gotta go, class in the morning and all that good stuff. So try to come watch on the next one. Awesome, Kirby. Well, have a good time at class. Yeah, always stop by. I'm here on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, starting at 7 p.m. Pacific. If you got any questions or anything like that, or you just like questions, programming related, career related, stuff like that, myself or other people in the chat, like Stroth, and share a couple words of wisdom or experience, battle scars, war stories, and stuff like that. But have a good one. Perl was some weird alien language. Hopefully it was Turtle Spaghetti Code. You think there's a higher order component version? We'll read what this is. There might be draggable is a higher order component, I think, in general. What's up, Krasner? How's the DevRig life? Working in the DevRig. Yeah, man, it was fucking horrible. I had to station to multiple servers and get a big picture of how those terminals were. Oh god. Ugh. Legacy code. At work, we're actually reading this. Working effectively with legacy code. So this book. So this book is all about strategies, techniques, tips, techniques, and all type of stuff of how to deal with legacy code. We're like maybe about 20% through the book, 15%. But yeah, this might be a good, since you're a contractor and you have to deal with systems occasionally and stuff like that, this could be a book, a really good book to read. Boom. So far I enjoy it, and then like it's written so that there's a bunch of tips and techniques for different chapters, so you can always refer back to them for like how to tackle it. Let's see, do they have the chapters listed? No. Okay, well. Yeah. I like, it's one of those books that I feel like it's one of the it's I know like I procrastinate reading it, but it's one of the books that every programmer, it's one of those ones that it's like, just like there's sci-fi fiction must reads, Working Effective Legacy Code is one of the like computer programmers must reads. You got to read that in order to, like, you know, if you're dealing with systems, if you're a contractor, you're going to be dealing with other people's systems all the time. Be fixed in final. Yeah, so that's the, oh yeah, because you get to see the debug output right now, because interim is the oh, good night Frodo, have a good one, man. Yeah, so interim is the sentence that I'm currently speaking right now, so it's trying to on the fly quickly convert or interpret what I'm saying into text. So interim is very volatile, but once I finish completing my sentence and pause, it gives the algorithm, Google's speech recognition algorithm, enough time to mull over what I just said enough that it will have like a high degree of confidence, and then I push that over to the final queue. So that's what the interim and final are. Interim is the current stream sentence I'm talking, which would be very inaccurate. And then once I finish speaking, it does its final analysis on it, and I dump that into the final and then start displaying the next interim, which is the next stream of text that I'm talking. There's a big demand for that. So I was thinking, so what I'm gonna do is, yeah, I want to do the language translation for the closed captioning. So that's gonna be on the roadmap. I need to analyze an effective way to do it without breaking the bank, basically. Because if this extension blows up, it's gonna doing the conversion from one language to another is gonna will end up costing a lot of money. They can pay, but that's the thing. I have to figure out how to have them pay. I guess that could be a paid feature. Actually, that could be a paid upgrade feature for streamers if they want to unlock multilingual. They have to pay. Because I want to have streamers pay for features, and then I want to have bits enabled on the extension for viewers to trigger events, animations, and stuff like that. So like two different sides of it to generate revenue. I know how I roughly want to do it. I just need to figure out, I know what services I need to to use it for, or I know roughly how I want to do it. I just need to figure out the best cost-effective way to do it. But I have the rough idea of what I need to do. I just need to find the best cost-effective way to do it. Do I have a portfolio site? Kinda. I have this crummy one that I whipped up in a couple streams. This is like my coder portfolio site. I don't have a professional portfolio site. That is TBD right now. Because I haven't figured out how I want it to look. Yeah, this is like my streamer portfolio site. This is broken. Oh wait, I'm probably blocking it. Never mind. It's still broken. Oh, did I delete the app that uses this? I recently did some cleanup. I might have deleted the app. for the client ID for this. This is a really nice font. I think this might be Montserrat font. Yeah, Montserrat is a beautiful font, by the way, guys. Montserrat. Clips load for you. So Montserrat is on Google Fonts. It's a beautiful font to use. I actually I might change the default font from Roboto to Montserrat for the closed captioning text, because it's just a classy. It's like a clean, classy type of closed captioning font, and Roboto is a little bit too cold. It's like too rigid. Major font family. Interesting. This one's pretty good too. That's nice. Cool. Oh, interesting. Roboto's too roboty. The best description ever. All right, we went on a lot of tangents after the React drag and drop stuff. I've used it before. I can't remember how I used it, so let's go through the stuff. So we need to copy and paste draggable. Oh yeah, first I was gonna read this. Are you taking part in the competition, Krasner? The Twitch extension competition? A draggable element wraps an existing element and extends it as a new event handler styles. It does not create a wrapper element in the DOM. Draggable events are moved using CSS transform. This allows items to be dragged regardless of their current position. So if the item you're dragging already has CSS transforms applied, it will be overwritten by the CSS draggable, and use an intermediate wrapper to avoid that. Okay. Just need an idea. Yeah, just curious. I'm not sure how many people actually are taking part in it or not. So draggable usage. All right, let's bring it in. Oh wait, do we want to bring it in here? Yeah, this is the closed captioning text. We do want the closed captioning text to be draggable. So we just wrap the whole container in draggable. Reformat that. Line you up here, scrap idea list for me. I need to look at my notebook. I had a couple ideas in the queue. I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, I can't remember right now. I had to use this. The user had to be able to click and drag components back and forth from top and bottom section. They also had to be able to drag and drop, reorder the bottom section. Both sections could scroll horizontally. This is all working on tablet. Oof. You have a good idea. Get started. Cool. Try to get that prize money. Get that cash-ola. Hey, what's up, Cake? How's it going, my man? All right, so draggable. So let's save this and see what happens. I might need to increase the padding in order to be able to grab this stupid thing, because this bar right here. Let's bump the padding up, since it doesn't have the listener for bumping it up automatically. Or bumping it up and the pixels. Okay. Hey, look, it's moving. It's moving. It's grooving. Ah, yeah. You didn't know that was prize money? Boom. Look that up, yo. Can you snap it to the grid? I'm thinking about snapping it to the grid. Well, first I'm gonna add boundaries, so you can't drag it like this. Drag it. So I just wanted to see whether it was gonna work, and then we're gonna start configuring it. Yeah, so we'll start like doing everything. We also have to signify that it's draggable. I think the API that the library is a bit low level, but there's probably an easier one for you for use case. Yeah, we'll see. We'll play with it. I've used it before, so. Okay, so let's see. Position, default position. Well, we already have a default position. Scale. So here's the grid, right? Cursor drag. Oh, okay. I was thinking about just setting the CSS. Yeah, it's pointer drag in the CSS. Yeah. Oh god. I hate when that happens. I think that happens because of the Vim plugin I'm using somehow. When I do like too much crazy typing. Why is this bitching at me? No corresponding closing tag. Oof. Oh man. Come on, linter. Why you gotta do me like this? Wait, I deleted something. And I don't know what I deleted. Oh wait, it's this thing, right? It's the actual, I didn't properly copy and paste this, I think, right? That's why it's bitching at me? Yeah, that's what it was. Ooh. The casting mode, I did not. I honestly, I haven't looked at, like, I looked at it, read the prize pool money, I wanted to be a part of it, and I'm not gonna look at it much again because I don't want to get my hopes up for anything. I just want to make an awesome extension and get it out there. And if I win something, I'm gonna win something. Otherwise, I'm not gonna look at much. But I want to spread the news to other people in case they want to try to tackle it for fun. Also, no more restarting VS Code when installing extensions. Ooh, oh, I noticed that with the latest Insider build, actually. Well, it depends. I think there's certain extensions that you do need to restart VS Code for. But a lot of them you don't. But yeah, I did not see the casting mode. I've used the live share, but not the casting mode. Casting, developer, toggle screencast mode. What'll that do? Now type. Oh. Whoa! Give him the D. Oh my god. That's so weird. System settings, casting. Is there settings for this? Screen. Screencast. Because that's like really, really big. I'll try to keep it up, but it's really big. Let me see. Yeah, I think because like I increased like I'm gonna keep it on. I'm gonna see how long I can handle this. I'm gonna see how long I can handle this. So you can see, well, you can see what I'm doing with the Vim commands now, right? Okay, so we're dropping this to 8. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it, drop it, drop it. Jupiter. Okay, so it's doing a little snap. Nice, nice recommendation, Groth. Not bad. Just like a nice little snap. Cool. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Let's see, what else can we do? We want to restrict the bounds. So how do we do that? Bounds. Restricts the movement within the node's offset parent nearest node position. Let's see what else other ones. Offset parent on scale. Specify the scale of the canvas you're dragging on this element. This allows you to, for example, get the correct drag deltas when you're zoomed in via transform. Okay, so we want to use the bounds. Oh, it actually worked.
I feel the need for speed.
Oh, speed. Ooh. Thank you very much for the follow. So talk. Great pleasure. Welcome to the Goose Nest. If you got any questions, comments, anything like that, let me know. Otherwise, sit back, relax, and enjoy the stream. So I can just do this. wrap this as an object. Like that. And boom. And now it's all interactive and shit because like you got explosions on the screen when I'm typing and then you can see what I'm actually typing. You guys are spoiled right now. Let's see, number. Let's go 0, 0. What does 0? I'm assuming if I do 0, it's going to keep it within the bounds. But we'll find out right now. That's just like a guess. Oh, I gotta drag it period now. That's funny. Yeah, because if I delete that, and then, come on. Yeah, so that's working again. So what does it say about the bounds? So specifies the movement boundaries, accepted values. Parent restricts the movement within the node's parent. Offset. What is the node's parent, by the way? I forget. So here is my container. This is the draggable, and then the parent is the video. So let's. Okay, so we'll change this to be parent. Come on, show up. All right, so, okay. So now you can't, it can't go anywhere. But the thing is, I had to watch out for is I can't let them drag it all the way up here because the moment they drag it up here, I can't grab it because of the click areas on the video overlay or on the video. There's that banner part where that has the title and all that type of stuff. And on the bottom has the controls. So that's why these kind of like grayed out areas exist. These are the no-go zones for the extension, which is why the closed captioning extension, when you hover over the video, it lifts up ever so beautifully because it's in this gray zone, and then when you hover over it, it lifts up so you can click on the hide button and stuff like that. So that's why that exists. So we need to tweak stuff. So object, left top, right bottom properties. These indicate how far in each direction the draggable can move. So that specifies how far. I want to try to keep it in the container. So in the end, see how far can I drag this? Let's So I have to design this. I think I need to just make like a captioner container. Let's see, I have a very tiny padding. Oh, so here's the captioner container. So on the app container, I have a I guess I have a large 90 pixel margin. I wonder if I should move from using the margin to using what do you call it? Or use it from padding to using margin or something. Yeah, React got released. I need to study that on using React hooks effectively. Because I've read a little bit about React hooks, but I haven't bothered to really get deep in the nitty-gritties of that stuff. So here is the 90. We'll switch this to margin right now. Okay. Come on, show up. But still not. I was hoping I can just reuse the container I already have. But nope. What happens if I do a... I'm curious about something here. I'm not sure how the sound of it. This is just an idea, it's a border. Border property, so width, style, and color. I guess I'll do border bottom. Border bottom. The pixels. So width, style. Here's what I'm gonna do. Solid. Black. Where's my closed captioning text? There it is. You can grab the iframe width and height and calculate the bounds against the width, height, and caption container using the... Yeah, that's gonna be my last resort of doing JavaScript to try to tweak it. So I'm just trying to see if I can create like a boundary just in CSS alone, so I don't have to do any JavaScript calculations, basically. So what I can do is this. RGBA. I'm not sure if this is a good idea. I'm just gonna do it anyway. Come on, show them. Okay, so then I remove this padding. And let's see what happens here. Okay. And because there's the invisible border, it can't move there. See that? You see, I'm not sure if that's a good good stylistic thing to do. But it works. So if I reduce this down to, yeah, well, if I just do that. Yeah, so now they can't go that far. So let's try to put a border boundary, a more reasonable one. I might actually have to go and start using this as the... I might have to install this extension in development so I can actually see how this looks as the video overlay. When I do that, you guys won't be able to see it. I think I might have to go that route in order to test this properly. Because I need to see it in the context of the video. So let's go ahead and, since we've already gone this far, let's go ahead and do the border top of like 40 pixels like that. So now if I drag this, what the hell happened? Why did it do that? Oh, do I have to click into the video? Hold on. That was interesting. Okay. So show again. Oh, that was weird. Okay. Come on. Fuck. Come on. Come on. I need a third line. Come on, show up. Do it. There you go.
We have brought you back to given you a new upgrade. Your last model had a glitch and became self-destructive.
I set the properties to be parent. Why doesn't it want to go down further?
We have spent the last 3 years rebuilding you from scratch. Now tell me, can you move your arms?
Yeah, why doesn't it go any further? That's weird. 40 border top 40 pixels. There's a border top now. Oh, is it what? Hold on. This is weird. Bleh. Okay, so we just have to wait for this. Either I'm gonna have to throw some alarm ipsum just to fill this up again, or I'm going to have to, there we go. It didn't work as smoothly as I wanted, or it's not working the way I expected it to. So it's trying to stay within the container of the app. So you can subtly see the boundaries. You could see that there was one up here and one down here. But it's just not working the way I expected it to. I guess we can probably make we can wrap it in another container. That has its margins set too. Maybe. If not, we'll have to do it through JavaScript. Grabbing the bounds and stuff like that, like you said, Stroth. Man, thought I was gonna get like really clever, but it looks like it looks like no bueno. Let me this real quick just to see if this does anything. Flex. Okay, just have to be able to grab this in a second. Come on, show me the money, or I guess show me the line. Oh, there. Yeah, it does something weird. That's really weird. Yeah, I'm gonna do those changes. Let's see. So let's go to the app.js that wraps the closed captioning, player context, and then we just have the app container. Let's create a div class. We'll see how this goes. Class drag boundary. The shortcut key is like really bad when you're using Vim because there's like so many H's. I guess it just shows what like navigating in Vim looks like. Okay, so we have this drag boundary container that's wrapping it now. We might need to move some of the text around a little bit since app container was having all the nice dandy stuff. It lost some of its styling because it's contained within this boundary container. Boundary container is still this whole thing, but oh, I see the whole boundary container. Yeah, it's just that right there. Okay, so we need to move some of the styling from the boundary container. So let's see. Let's move this and then into a new class. The drag boundary. Bound. How do I spell it? Delete that. So let's see how this looks. Okay, let's see. So go into the element inspector. Oh, it's up there now. Ah. Okay. I need to set the width of this to be 80. So, first let's start. I guess let's do it in here. Drag boundary container is the same size as the closed captioning. So I need to set a height. I'm gonna set it to 100 for now. And I can't set it to 100. Why is that? Unknown property. Oh, because 900 pixels. Let's see, so the iframe. So it spans the whole distance, but then it doesn't have, and then it has the so it only goes to 450. So we need to add to the app container a top. I'm gonna do a top of 30 pixels. Like that. Okay. The drag boundary is now has a 30 pixels. Oh, we forgot to add the height of 100%. Oops, forgot the semicolon. Can you explain what you want to happen? I'm just want to keep the I'm just trying to make it CSS wise, keep the drag this guy inside the container or inside a container, so it doesn't go too far up, too far down, dragging wise. I need to move it because I can't access it. Once I can move this guy upwards. I guess we'll move move this guy standard position up a little bit. We'll do to go 50. Okay, so now I should be able to drag this. Okay, come on, give it to me. There you go. Why does it? Okay, I don't get what's going on now. Why is it letting me go? Because the let me see what the parent container looks like. So I set it so the drag is tied to the parent, bound by the parent. So let's look at the docs real quick. So parent restricts the movement within the nodes. Offset parent nearest node in the position relative to position relative or absolute. So the parent is from, it's really hard to see, but you can see that the parent starts about here to here. Only 400 height. But this is letting me just drag it way off. Not keeping it within the parent, because the parent ends here. It ends around here, but it's just letting me keep on going. I have to see this in production. Oh, it's already 10 o'clock too. Oof. Ooh, that's a good. That is a great point because they have the relative set. It does not position relative. Yeah, let's see. All right. Okay. So it's just a relative. Thank you. I thought it was just gonna be automatic, but no. You have to. Oh yeah, because you have to set it explicitly. Because CSS, the way it functions, is that the child parent, it explicitly bounds it inside. I always forget that. That if you want something explicit, like the relative, like you want to restrict an absolute inside a relative, inside another container, you have to explicitly set the outer parent container to relative. I always forgets. So you can see we're limiting it from going too far up, too far down. The top one's gonna be a little tricky. I might have to solve this with JavaScript in terms of allowing it to be accessible. Either that, or I need to provide like a reset button to reset the position. All right, before we sign off, I want to try to test this in production, or not in production, but test this on the actual video. So so you guys might see the closed captioning disappear because I am going to install the development version of this extension, and you guys can't see the development version of the extension, the one that's in test. Okay, so extension.
Need
Oh, speed! Mr. Certainly. Thank you very much for follow. Welcome to the Goose Nest. If you got any questions, comments, anything like that, let me know. This is a beginner slash any person for the, depending on their career level, walk of life, whatever it is more than welcome to ask questions. Okay, so I installed the dev build of this, and you guys can't see it because it's also running locally. So if I go to my channel, I should see the new build of this running on my over my stream. This is a judge-free zone. No judgy. Alright, we're trusting Twitch. Mocha S. Okay, so let's turn this guy off. Okay, oh yeah, I have to accept this since this is in testing mode. So we just gotta wait for this to show up. Okay. So you can kind of see that it lifted up and down. So, and then grab this and start moving this around. So that's what we want. And then we bring it up here. You see, that's the thing I was telling you about with the lift and drop. When it's up here, I might need to identify if it's up in the upper area that we disable this bounce. Yeah, so this is what we wanted to do. We wanted to have the final, so the work we were doing with the interim and final text is now in this extension, or in this test build that we're seeing. So you can see this line here, and then it does the overflow, which is what we want to happen. So, and then now we have this dragability for people to move it around. It's still there's still some feedback I need to get with like look and feel in terms of stuff and things, like if this is too wide, if we should make this smaller, stuff like that. But we have dragability, so you could just be like, I want the closed captioning to be up there, I want it to be down here. So maybe I need, and then I need to integrate adding in the ability to change the font size. And I'm not sure if we want it to still be this wide, or if we want to try to shrink it down some more. Right now it's about 90% of the width of the video. So we just have to, I guess it's just all about user testing. What do you guys think? I guess I can turn off the nudge if you start dragging it. Maybe that's what I have to do. So much algorithms. Yeah, I guess I could do a state management thing that the moment you start dragging it, on drag, I no longer do the bounce effect. That could solve the problem. So once you drag it, bounce effect gone. Because all the bounce effect is dictated by this JavaScript right here on whether the controls are visible or not. So I could listen for the on drag event, and if that fires, yeah, on drag event, just short circuit. Don't do this, basically. Just skip adding these class names. Just stick to keeping standard position or whatever. Yeah, so many wows. I had a C++ teacher who would say algorithm instead of excuse me after he sneezed. Oh my god. That takes a lot of effort to consciously do that. Oh my god. What a nerd. What a nerd. Okay, so I think I just need to add in the capability to adjust font size, and I think we could get another beta release to go. But yeah, almost done. Look. All right, guys. That is it. We actually got a lot done. Let's commit what we have. Yeah, we're gonna be shipping it. We'll ship it on Friday, and hopefully it'll get into people's hands over the weekend or something like that. Luckily, since I already have this released, extension review process is quicker. So much wow, many wow, many wow. Yeah. Thanks guys for hanging out. I am going, I guess let's commit this change. Enable dragability of the extension CC text. So we added React draggable, the CSS, the app.js code. You gotta love how like little code we added into this. Okay, let's commit that. Let's just commit the whole thing. All right, guys. All right. Now it's time to say goodbye, guys. Thanks so much for all the help. Stroth, Cake JS. Everyone else, Krasner, thanks for hanging out. Mr. Certainly, all the new follows. Thanks for bouncing off ideas, Kirby. Thanks for stopping by. Back with Joy, thank you for the 100 bits. And Akira, thank you for the resub. Greatly appreciate it. Bits and subs go a long way to help the stream because being a developer ain't cheap. And working on this extension, it's costing me money because I'm running a heavy Redis instance just in case. So yeah, so the subs and donations help go to pay for the work that I do. Confidence. I can feel more comfortable paying for this stuff since you guys help support what I do. So thank you very much. Have a good night, guys. I'll see you guys on Friday, and maybe we'll see. We'll try to get some of the stuff done. Some more stuff done. All right, guys. Have a good night. Have a great rest of your week. On Friday, we're gonna chill out. I got some beer in the fridge, so we're gonna be coding and drinking beer on Friday. And yeah, hang out with me. Bye bye.